I'm joined with Sam Soliman, the number 1 IBF middleweight contender. He's been good enough to join me. How you going, Sammy?
G'day, mate. How are you?
Good, good. I just wanted to go through a few things, mate, whilst you join with me. Back in August last year, you fought and won a unanimous decision over Giovanni Lorenzo. I was at that fight, mate. This elevated you to the number 1 contender and mandatory to the current IBF champ, Australian's own Daniel Gill. He's since got an exemption and fought Anthony Mundine instead. What were your feelings about this happening, mate?
My career, I fought the best there is out there, and I was hoping the same would come from the other end of it. But in saying that, it's hard to say he didn't fight the best there is out there in Gill, because he's fought Sebastian Sylvester, he's fought Stern, he's fought Karmazan, he's fought quite a few champions. And so I would say that it's not that he's wimping out of a fight, and in any way I would say that. I would say that his management was careful to not take a risk that could end a career, so instead they decided to go with a fight that they're pretty sure that was a safer bet to keep the title. And Mundine would be one for that, because Mundine, I don't believe, was as good at middleweight as he was super middleweight.
Did you see the fight?
I did, yes.
What did you think of the fight?
Again, Mundine again proves that at super middleweight he's a better boxer than he is at middle, and hopefully he can watch that video himself and Mundine and go back to his natural weight. A lot of fighters make that mistake. I've made that mistake coming out of my weight division, and that's why Gill was able to do what he did.
Well, based on that, you then last fought and won a unanimous decision against Germany's Felix Sturm in Germany. That was in February. Yeah, your weight. That was back in February this year, to 2013. How come you fought Sturm?
Again, we fight the best to beat the best. That's what every real fighter wants to do, and I could have picked an opponent to keep me busy and keep me active, but for 53 other fights before it I didn't, so I wasn't going to start now. I didn't want to change my routine and find the best there is out there, and that was just another one that I wanted to take out at my weight division.
Alright, and when you did fight Sturm, you went down in the second round. I don't know if you recall that.
Good shot.
But you looked hurt, you were shaky, you finished out the rounds. How did you overcome that? How did you dig deep to overcome that and get away off the win?
Yeah, well, I went back to the neutral corner where I was getting counted, and while he was counting, I kept saying to myself, I didn't come all the way down here, 23-hour flight, to fight in his hometown and do him the favour of winning as well. So find something, and find something quick, because if you don't, you wait all your life for a championship shot and you've just blown it. So this is all going through my head, all summarised in my head, and the end of that round I just made sure that I didn't get caught with that punch again, and at the same time gain some respect in terms of giving him the confidence to have the guts to throw that right hand again, and by making him pay every time he stuck his hands out. And every round on from there, that was my plan, to stick to the game that my trainer Dave Hitchcock had planned for me, and that's to move to my right, stay away from his right hand, and stick to a game plan, which we did, and won us the fight.
You won the fight. Now, I never want to say what ifs, but what would have happened at that time, that point in time in your current career, if you had lost that fight? What were your plans? I mean, you didn't go there to lose, but it was an option. I mean, very highly ranked Sturm, and coming off a loss to Daniel Gill, he wants some redemption in his hometown. Where to for Sammy Soliman?
You said what if? No, well, you go down, you lose a fight, you come back stronger, and you get the respect for coming back stronger, and you can look in the mirror and say, I had another crack at it. You didn't say, well, I got beat, that's the end of me, and start crying over spilled milk. And I knew that if something went wrong, I could get my way back up there again. And so that takes the pressure off you when you actually do have the fight. If you think like that before you fight, then it takes a lot of pressure off. If you think it's the end of the world and it's the end of everything for me if I lose this fight, then you have put yourself under a lot more strenuous pressure that you didn't need to put yourself under. And of course, my mentality was, it's not made the best man win. I'm going out there to win the fight. But I'm not going to have in the back of my mind that could be what could happen and end my career, because then I won't fight the same.
So you win the fight. The week before, Mundine and Gill were at it, which you would say you were mandatory to be in that fight. Who did you want to fight at that time, Gill and Mundine?
Like, as in?
Who did you want to be the winner? I mean, who did you want to fight more?
Oh, for the winner of the two?
Yeah.
Oh, for me, it's always made the best man win, because the best man to win means when I beat the champ, I'll beat the champ, you know. So if Mundine got lucky with a punch and he was losing the whole fight every round, and then got lucky and knocked the guy out, knocked Gill out in the last round, I'd be fighting a guy that really isn't, you know, hasn't got the tools that Gill's got.
So there's nothing personal? You wouldn't want to fight Gill or you know, seek some redemption from Anthony when you fought him at super middleweight and try and get him into your, I mean,
winning the world title.
That's all it means.
That's the dream. Yeah. You know, winning the world title is redemption in itself. It's to own the shot, the dream, win the dream shot that I've been chasing for my life. It comes before any emotional issues I may have about something that may not have gone my way back in the past, because if I worry about things like that, then I shouldn't be in the sport.
Well, so you win, Gill wins. Hopefully you're looking at the future and some negotiations and trying to get a fight with Daniel Gill. And then you hit with the BDB suspending you for 9 months, and they've ruled that the bout against Sturm was a no contest after an A sample showed traces of an illegal stimulant. Your world would have been turned upside down at that point. What happens next, Sammy?
I just had to battle on and let my manager, my trainers, my lawyers jump all over it, because that's what they do best. What I do best is fight. And the only thing that really stung more, because you know, obviously I know no drug cheat, so it didn't. That part obviously wasn't a thing that was going through my mind. What was going through my mind was, you know, am I going to get this shot at the world title, or am I not going to get this shot at the world title? And then I have to keep reminding myself of why I do it, because I love it, and that's what kept me waking up in the morning, going for runs and keeping myself in shape and not letting go, you know, over something that's not true, over just a total false thing. Yeah, and that's what kept me going. So it did, and I'm back on track, because as you would have read in the paper, and that the B sample came out negative, as my team, my family, my real fans and friends, we've already known from how I live my life, and so once that got cleared, I'm now allowed to fight again, and the suspension's not a 9-month suspension no more. It's a suspended suspension.
Yeah. So look, has anyone actually, in this time, has anyone actually called you a cheat or a drug cheat to your face?
No, and you know what? They probably don't. Even ones that probably had questioned it before the B sample came out negative to prove. If they were questioning it, instead of saying, "No, he's definitely a drug cheat. He's definitely a drug cheat." They were questioning it, but after question, if they were to question it, I would have been surprised, because I've never even looked like the type to be. I do speaking engagements all over my country about anti-drug campaigns, anti-violence campaigns. So all of a sudden, I'm not going to start contradicting myself and becoming someone I've been teaching people not to be. So, in saying that, I didn't have anyone. I don't think there was anyone out there that would have been thinking like that about me.
Well, as you just mentioned, as of today, where we sit now, you know, the IBF has ratified you and your number one position as a contender to Daniel Gill currently. Following your appeal, what does this now mean to you? What I mean to yourself, apart from an opportunity to fight for a world title, how does that mean to have your name cleared in a sense?
If you thought I trained hard for all the other fights, and if you thought I'd come back from some tough fights, nothing's coming back better than I am going to be for this fight. This will be, and I'm sure it sounds very stereotype thing to say, but I am going to come out better than I've ever come out in my career at the age of 39, because nothing's fired me up more than the last 3 months I've had with my battle outside of the ring. And now that it's all clear and the truth came out, I am so looking forward to giving what I could say is the best performance of my life, come world title or come fight before the world title.
Yep. So Daniel Gill's now fighting Darren Barker, as this has all been going on in the background. You miss out again, okay, due to this. You haven't lost a fight in 5 years, Sammy. You're 8 wins on the trot now. What's next for you, mate? What can you tell us? I mean, at the moment, a lot of people are wanting to know what's Sammy Soliman going to do while he's not going to sit on his hands and wait. He's going to keep fighting. So obviously there has to be something in the works. Is there anything you can let us know on what sort of direction you're heading?
My manager's jumping all over getting me a fight ASAP, because it's been now 5 months. It feels like 5 years, 5 months, and so I'm hoping September, October, and it'd be anyone ranked top 5 in any of the sanctioning bodies, whether it's WBO, WBA, IBF, or WBC. Want someone in the top 5, so then it's a lucrative fight for me, not just a fight, activity fight, like every other fight I've had, a fight that's going to keep me going forward and climbing, because now I'm number 1 in the IBF ratings. I've got to climb somewhere. We can't climb any higher than number 1 for them. So fortunately, there's such thing as other sanctioning bodies. I can climb them too, and that's why some of the top 5 would be what I'm looking for now. Yeah.
Is there any names that you can mention, or not at this stage?
Looking at the rankings now, there's Jared Fletcher, there's Patrick Nielsen, there's quite a few, Brian Vera. There's quite a few names out there that I would like to tick off the list, and they'd be good scalps.
All right. Going back some time ago, you were on a reality boxing series, The Contender. One of your opponents was Australian Sakio Bika. You've also fought him outside of the Contender series, but he won the WBC Super Middleweight Title after many previous attempts. Does that spur you on, that someone like him has been through some adversity as well?
Yeah,
to win a world title.
A lot in common there, and one thing about Sakio too is he's the type of fighter, you knock him down, he'll come back twice as strong. You knock him down again and you're in a lot of trouble. He's not the type that you knock him down and it's going to take he's got to find somewhere to get back on track. It's almost like you already know he's going to get back on track. Because of his attitude to his sport and to what he loves doing. And so someone like that, whether you know him or don't know him as a person, as a friend or not, just you're going to want him to win. If you're not even a supporter of him, you would want him to win just because you know of his background and how he's had to get over those demons and come through. So he's a young fan. I'm a big fan.
Excellent. So what are you up to now, Sammy, as far as training? I mean, I'm sure knowing you haven't eased off one bit, but keeping busy. Well, tell us what you're up to.
Yeah, I had 3 weeks off after the fight, of course, as you do, and then because you come back sharp after you give yourself some time off. And after those 3 weeks, I went back into the gym, done a lot of cardio work and a lot of strength work, and in the last 4 weeks, I've been doing a lot of boxing. Maybe not sparring, but at least getting in the pads and then doing a lot of fitness rounds and getting the rounds in the bank, and just keep myself in the best shape I can be, because I don't want any surprises for any early dates.
And a couple other things. One, you're an expert, or your expertise in a couple of different martial arts. One of the questions that came across to me through Twitter: boxing, kickboxing, karate, taekwondo. I don't know if I missed any there, but what's your favourite martial art? I'm not talking, what you might do, but following, whatever it might be. What's your favourite art?
Favourites: boxing, kickboxing, taekwondo, martial art. I love them all. If I let one go, I miss it too much, I jump straight back at it. So I still do my kickboxing, I still do my boxing, still do my taekwondo, still do my karate, I still do it all. And I think that's why I'm able to be a little bit fitter than my opponent, because it's another one of the positives I have to why I've got something on my opponents, because they're not doing all of that.
Yeah.
And the heaviest muscle in your body is your legs. So the strongest muscle is your brain, but the heaviest muscle is your legs. If you're lifting that up all the time, you have to be that little bit more fit than someone just punching. So don't get me wrong, punching is taxing, but when you're doing both, kicking and punching, and I love it. So like you said, like you asked me, what's my favourite? Just love them all. I can't pick. Love them all.
No, beautiful. Well, look, lastly, I'd go into, every time I said this to you a bit earlier, every time I seem to see you, it's at the fights. You don't seem to miss much in the domestic scene. So just a question around who you're following, or who you got your eye on currently in the Australian domestic scene coming up through the ranks that you've seen or caught your eye?
In the amateur ranks, a guy named Adam Coulis, great boxer, gifted boxer. Had a couple of losses in over 25 fights now. But it's not about his win-loss ratio that's impressed me. It's how he goes about what he does. He'll learn something and he'll do it every night till he perfects it, and he won't leave the gym till he perfects it. Adam Coulis, look out for this Adam Coulis. He's going to be one of our Olympians come 2014
or 15, I can't remember myself.
It gets me too. He's looking up to him, and in the pros, I know he's current world champion, but it's not just because he's world champion that I say he's the best there is out there in Australia at the moment. It's because of how he does what he does. I call him the Manny Pacquiao of Australia, and that's exactly what he is, and that's Will Tomlinson.
Will Tomlinson.
The best of the best. Like, I'm talking, you're going to see some super special stuff coming from that man.
Yep. Excellent. Well, look, a couple of word associations. All right, so I'm going to mention a name or a word. I want to know what the first thing that comes into your head. So I'll start with Daniel Gill.
Class.
Felix Stern.
Tough.
Dave Hedgecock.
Machine.
Anthony Mundine.
Good question.
Drugs.
Drugs. Well, in my eyes, weak.
Winky Wright.
Legend.
Golovkin.
Tyson.
Losing.
Come back stronger. I can't find a single word for that.
Winning.
The best.
Retirement.
No comment.
And lastly, world title.
World title. Dream.
Dream.
Yeah, dream.
Well, thanks, Sammy. Really appreciate your time today. I really look forward to seeing you back in the ring very shortly. And lastly, I really look forward to seeing a world title around your waist, mate. You know, I've been a big fan of yours for many, many years and followed all your fights. There's a lot of viewers and supporters out there that be thinking the same. So, mate, get out there, keep your activity levels up, and all the best in the future.
Thanks, well, mate. Just a quick thank you to Dave Stanley for sticking by me throughout this, and the rest of the team, Dave Hedgecock and Christian Enor and Nigel McCarthy. There's so many, can't get them all in, but just thank you very much for being there for me the toughest time of my career, and to my wife Maria and my son Samir. Love you guys.
Thanks, Sammy.